As this lady was releasing gender reveal balloons, her husband suddenly seized a mystery box. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to be inspired by these heartwarming stories every day. Pregnancy had been a difficult journey for Kelsie and Patrick Peters. Indeed, even though the couple were already blessed with one son, adding to their clan hadn't been straightforward. So at first they were nervous about revealing that they were pregnant again. And when they gathered family and friends for the gender reveal, they dropped a bombshell no one had seen coming. Kelsie and Patrick from Acworth, Georgia were engaged in September 2007, and their wedding took place the following August. As young newlyweds, it was naturally a few years before their family would begin to grow. But pregnancy would prove to be the start of a very bumpy ride for the Peters. It began when Kelsie first fell pregnant in 2012. Sadly, that episode ended with a miscarriage at around 3 months. Yet, despite that heartbreak, a few months later the couple learned that they were expecting again. And this time, things would have a happier ending. Yes, in October 2013, Kelsie gave birth to Bennett. But Kelsie and Patrick felt that their family wasn't yet complete, so they tried for another baby. But shortly after their son turned 1, Kelsie suffered a second miscarriage. Then a third miscarriage occurred during their 4th pregnancy. As heartbroken as they must have been at the run of misfortune, though, the Peters never stopped trying for a second child. However, more than a year after her 3rd miscarriage, Kelsie was still waiting and hoping. So at this point, the couple decided to seek medical assistance. Kelsie therefore underwent lots of checks and blood tests as doctors strove to see if anything was preventing the mother of one from falling pregnant again. Eventually, medical professionals diagnosed her with a medical condition called Factor V, also known as Factor V. Factor V is a blood clotting disorder. Significantly, some research suggests that it leads to higher rates of miscarriage. It seemed then that Bennett's arrival had been something of a miracle. Indeed, there was apparently no obvious reason why that pregnancy hadn't ended with another miscarriage. But with Kelsie's diagnosis came the solution to the problem of conceiving and carrying her second child. And then it happened. A few months after starting on blood thinning medications, Kelsie was pregnant again. But at the 7-week ultrasound scan, the Peters learned some shocking news. And it was information that they initially wanted to keep to themselves. Indeed, it was hard enough for Kelsie telling people that she was pregnant again, what with the disappointment of 3 miscarriages already. So the Peters didn't want to build anybody's hopes up, never mind their own heartbreak should this pregnancy not work out. The Peters therefore waited to share the news. Then in July, they arranged a gender reveal party for their family and friends. As it turned out, they had a lot to celebrate with everyone who had gathered for the disclosure. Naturally, plenty of people had their phones and cameras ready to capture the moment. It was a simple setup. Kelsie, Patrick, and Bennett stood by a large cardboard box. Covering the front of the box was a sign that said he or she in blue and pink marker pen. Kelsie herself was already visibly pregnant. Flanking the family on either side were balloons, 4 on each side and tethered to the ground so as to not float away. Again, the balloons were colored pink to signify a girl and blue for a boy. And to add to the surprise, they were mixed up so as to not give anything away. In the build-up to the reveal, Kelsie asked the crowd what they thought the baby would be, a boy or a girl. In a show of hands, the expectant mom figured it was an even split. For what it's worth, Bennett believed it would be a girl when his mom explained what was happening. Given that Kelsie's road to her second pregnancy had been a rough one, it's likely that the expectant mom was happy either way. Nonetheless, building anticipation for the big reveal, she started a countdown from 5 before opening the box. But as the crowd got to 2, Patrick stopped proceedings. Had he forgotten something? He rushed out of shot to mock confused looks from Kelsie and protests from one man in the crowd who was filming. Then one of the female guests screamed. But the woman's scream was not out of fear or terror. Rather, it was a yell of delighted surprise. As Patrick came back into the shot, everyone could see why. Yes, he carried in a second box. And Kelsie moved the first box to make room for it. Box number 2 was labeled, "What about me?" Most of their guests had figured it out, but there was still a little confusion. So to make it clear, Kelsie announced, "We have 2 boxes because we're having 2 babies." So this was the secret that they had strived to keep since it was revealed at their 7-week scan. "We decided right away to keep the T word, twins, a secret until we did a gender reveal," Kelsie explained in a Facebook post. "It's too difficult emotionally to tell family we're pregnant, just to have to go back and take that joy away from them, all while dealing with our own loss and grief." As the video went on to reveal, Kelsie was in fact expecting a boy and a girl. The mom later said in the moment the couple learned that they were expecting twins, awe immediately hit our faces, and along with tears in our eyes, our hearts became overwhelmed at the thought of receiving a double rainbow. Fortunately, nature took its course and the twins duly arrived in December. Children born after a miscarriage are often referred to as rainbow babies, and in Eastern cultures, a double rainbow symbolizes transformation or good fortune. There's no question that the Peters' own double rainbow certainly fits in with that.
Thanks for watching another heartwarming video. Please check out our channel for more stories that will make your heart melt.